Number two, frankly, I don't know why the president felt the need to tweet on this subject at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools.
Senator John Kennedy and Marjorie Taylor Greene obliterate Ilhan Omar after her endless anti-American remarks. In a fiery exchange, Kennedy reminds Omar that America, while not perfect, is still the greatest country in the world, and if she hates it so much, she's free to leave. MTG doubles down, calling out Omar's radical record and reminding her that the Constitution and the flag deserve respect. This explosive moment exposes the hypocrisy of the left and rallies patriots to defend America.
Number two, frankly, I don't know why the president felt the need to tweet on this subject at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools. They hate America. They think America was wicked in its origins, and it's even more wicked today. They ought to be thanking America instead of calling America evil and wicked and racist. But this is America, and they have the right to their opinion. But I don't like to see the president even dignify their point of view. Besides that, I think that the Squad, as they call themselves, they are destroying the Democratic Party. You know, when your opponent is screwing up, don't interrupt him. Let him go. I mean, just looking at this from a political standpoint, if I didn't know better, I would think the members of the Squad were GOP plants. I mean, they think that illegal immigration, socialism, higher taxes, abortion are all moral goods. They think America, Israel, free enterprise are moral bads. That's not what most Americans believe. And that's kind of where I am on the subject. The president has explained his position. He has said, look, here's what I meant. If you're not happy living in America, leave. It's a free country, and I agree.
Georgia seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
Welcome back to Alyson Reacts. Before we dive into today's explosive reaction, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Every single one of you who clicks that button helps us fight back against the radical left, the mainstream media, and the elites who want to silence patriotic voices like ours. Together, we're building a community of truth-tellers, people who love this country and refuse to bow down to political correctness. So don't forget, subscribe, like, and share this video everywhere. Now let's get into it, because what just went down with Senator John Kennedy, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Ilhan Omar is one of those moments that cuts straight through the nonsense. Kennedy and MTG didn't just push back. They destroyed Omar's entire anti-American narrative right on the floor. And their message was clear. If you don't like America, if you despise the very freedoms this country gave you, then no one is forcing you to stay here. Senator John Kennedy, in his signature Louisiana style, calm, direct, but absolutely devastating, laid it out in plain English. He reminded everyone that America isn't perfect, but it is still the greatest country the world has ever seen. This is the land of opportunity, the land where millions of people are dying, literally dying, to come here because they know there's no other place like it. Yet somehow, Ilhan Omar, who was given refuge here after escaping hardship in Somalia, chooses not to express gratitude, not to celebrate the opportunities she's been given, but to constantly complain, insult, and trash the very nation that opened its arms to her. Kennedy's point was so simple that it's almost sad it had to be said at all. If you hate this country so much, why are you here? Millions of Americans ask this question every single day. If someone is so miserable in the United States, if they believe America is oppressive and racist and evil, then the door is wide open. Nobody is forcing you to stay. That's the freedom America provides. Unlike other countries where dissenters are jailed or silenced, in America, you're free to criticize and you're free to leave. But Kennedy didn't stop there. He talked about the double standard the radical left gets away with. If a Republican dared to speak about America the way Ilhan Omar does, constantly bashing our troops, undermining our Constitution, and mocking the very values this nation was founded on, the media would crucify them. They'd be on the front page of every newspaper, on every cable show, branded as un-American and dangerous. But when Omar does it, the media covers for her. They